Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure you tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. As always, we are brought to you by Star City Games and sponsored by Carnox Chairs. If you would like a Carnox chair, make sure to use our affiliate link, carnox.com/SCG. You will get 10% off of your purchase.
Absolutely.
I've got to say, Rob, you made a big deal at the end of last year about how you weren't going to be around that much.
I know.
I was just making the same joke. I was like, for a retired guy, you are sure here a lot.
Yeah, you were that guy. It's like in Scrubs, Bob Kelso, when he retires, and then he's just at the hospital all the time.
Yeah, you know.
See, I was going to say he's Andre Strotsky retiring from Magic and then winning everything and then everywhere, you know? Like, that's what I would think.
See, that's a big scheme. I don't see what Rob is getting out of this.
Yeah. We don't know his paycheck, and we know his shoes. If he's getting paid in shoes, he's getting paid a lot more than those.
That's
Fortunately not.
Okay.
Still,
I tried to work that in.
We're still happy to have you here, bud.
I tried to work that in this year, but SCG wouldn't go for it.
No. You gotta, kicks involved, huh?
What you got to do is go straight to Nike and get yourself a shoe deal from them.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
I'm on the SCG tour. It's this big e-sport now because Magic's an e-sport now.
Rob's Nike shoes would be instead of just Rob's shoes. I like it.
Kicks every single time.
I got Magic clout.
Yeah, everybody knows about it. You want to cash in on this emerging market.
Yeah, that's the same as high sports figures representing their shoes. Magic is equal in that.
Ninja has his own shoe now. I get my own shoe. Be great.
You were next in line.
They can take some money off the LeBron contract and filter it over to you.
Absolutely, yeah.
LeBron's not missing it. Okay, we are coming back from basically 2 weeks off of Magic. I know you were at the Magic Fest in New Jersey last weekend.
Yep, but a little limited.
Yeah, I have had 2 weekends off. We've been talking about Theros Beyond Death for so much, and now we actually get to see it in action. Really, this coming weekend in a constructed format, constructed environment. We've got Team Constructed going on in Richmond, which means, all three of the major formats at this point, Modern, Pioneer, Standard.
And all healthy formats at the time, too. So this is going to be an awesome SCG.
Yeah, all in flux. And then we also have two of the, first round of regional Pro Tours coming up in Brussels and where's the other one? In Japan?
Nagoya.
Yeah. And they're going to be showing Pioneer, one of probably the biggest test of the Pioneer format to date.
For sure. I need to get my deck list for next weekend.
You're gonna be in Phoenix. So a lot of things going on with Theros Beyond Death and with new cards and sort of environments that are in flux. Modern after the bans, Standard, after bans, and a new environment, and the first new set added to Pioneer. We're finally out of that beta test period where we had bans almost every week. The format is starting to look kind of normal in its evolutions. We saw the chunky red deck is now kind of declining a little bit.
It's getting less chunky.
Yeah.
Now we got a new chunky creature. It is still a chunky red creature, technically. So
that's true. And, a lot of new things going on in that format. So we're going to bring you a little bit of everything. We're doing a couple team battles. And this one, the one we're going to start with today, is sort of our decks to beat. These are the decks that you really have to watch out for, no matter, depending on which format you're going to be playing this weekend, if it'll be in Richmond or wherever you might be playing. And so we're going to start with Standard. And I'm going to be playing basically the only card I can ever win with in Standard, which is a card that everybody wins with in Standard.
Exactly, yeah.
Nissa, who shakes the world.
Yeah, Nissa, who shakes up your win percentage, that's for sure.
Shakes it right on up.
Yeah, shakes it right up there.
So, but this list is a little bit different than the traditional ramp decks we've seen. It's a little bit more controlling, actually, because there's a lot more removal in it. It's a Sultai ramp deck. It is playing not only Casualties of War, which is pretty common at this point. It's got several copies of Death Sprout and Tyrant Scorn in the main deck.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting for sure. I'll be curious if this is just better than the actual Simic shell, with just Euro and just the plain old ramp to Crisis. But being able to interact, is something that I think is probably going to be needed in week one. I mean, there's going to be a lot of different decks going on. Just having stuff that points and kills stuff, I think, is going to be good. You might have some polarizing matchups with this. Play against a lot of non-creature decks in the first 3 turns, where Tyrant Scorer or Death Sprout might be bad. But then you play against, Mono Red Aggro or something, and you might just be giving the beatdowns pretty nicely.
You want to keep the evolution down, so the removal helps there a little bit. against, Jeskai Fires, you can take out that Cavalier Flame.
Yep.
Or just bounce it to buy yourself a turn. So there's some utility here. So not like it's sort of a hybrid. There's definitely the Simic Shell running around as well. There's a little bit of a different take that I wanted to bring y'all today, but still your typical Paradise Druid, Growth Spiral, Nissa, Hydroid Crisis,
hard to fail. And speaking of Jeskai Fires, that is what I'm going to be playing. This is one deck that is not going to be going anywhere. If you play in SCG Richmond, you got to expect this deck is still going to be there. Still the top deck on MTG Goldfish right now. I can't really say based on the metagame that this deck got a ton worse or a ton better because of X, Y, or Z. We're starting to see a lot of mono red pop up, which actually makes this deck better because Deafening Clarion is one amazing card there. So, and this is a deck where it's always in that middle ground. There might be decks that emerge that have a decent matchup against it. Maybe Elspeth Conquers Death is good against it or something like that.
Hard to have too good of a matchup against this deck, though. It's just so powerful.
Exactly. And then you always have decks that pop up where you have good matchups against it. So no matter what, Jeskai Fires, anybody who says they're playing this deck at SCG Richmond, nobody's going to be like, wow, you're playing that deck. No, this deck's always good, and you're going to see it. You're going to play it if you're in the standard seat.
Nice safe choice, and definitely a deck that, it's still the top deck on Goldfish. It's always been around, but isn't getting a lot of major press because everybody just sort of knows about it.
Yeah, and it didn't get a lot of new cards.
Yeah, and that can be dangerous. That can be dangerous. It's easy to forget about it if you're not hearing about it and you're busy trying out all this cool new Theros Beyond Death stuff. You find a deck you like, and then you get to the tournament and everybody's like, "Yeah, we're just playing Jeskai Fire still."
Smash you. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I forgot about the deck from last season. Yeah. Jund Sacrifice and Jeskai Fire still exists. I guess.
Don't want to do that. We did add Dream Trawlers. So that was a nice new addition. Probably your favorite card from the set. If I had to hazard a guess,
pretty close. Yeah. That and Elspeth Conquers Death and a Treese are all pretty close, but we got to give it to the Dream Trawler.
Okay, so let's get into it. All right, have the marbles back here.
You did.
So you're going to be on the play.
Okay, perfect. Let's do it. Let's see how good this deck truly still is. Okay. Yeah, I think this hand is definitely reasonable. A solid, pretty stock Fires hand. So I'm going to keep.
I see some lands. I see some ramp spells. I see some expensive spells.
That's it. Hopefully Nissa isn't one of them.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay. Scry. Another advantage to the Black Splash. You get a lot of temples in this version.
Or the huge disadvantage to the black deck.
It's a really nice card to put onto the battlefield off of a turn 2 Growth Spiral.
There you go. Or Grazer if you got it.
Yeah.
But we know that's not how it works. Yeah. It's always drawn when you need to cast Nissa on 5.
Don't think I need another threat there. I actually just want more lands.
Okay, more lands for you. I'm going to just go Steam Ends tapped and pass to you.
Yeah, not a lot of early action out of the...
No, I do a lot of hanging out until, whoops, you're dead.
I'll shock to 18.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
Well, it could be anything. You could have anything. All right, I'm going to untap.
Hold Tyrant Scorn.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go with Teferi Time Raveler.
Hey, we'll cast a Growth Spiral.
Are you sure you don't want to let this resolve first?
I think I'm good. I will put an Overgrown Tomb onto the battle.
All right, I will just tick this up and pass to you.
Okay. Let's main phase this Growth Spiral.
Okay.
Let's put this onto the battlefield.
Okay.
Then I'll play my land for turn. And then I'll play a Paradise Druid.
All right.
And I'll pass.
How many magical cards do you have in your hand?
Got 4.
All right. Loving it.
Just 4 of them.
Just 4 of them, huh? All right. Well, lots of good cards to be afraid of here. Let's see. I think we're going to go with a Hollowed Fountain tapped. Let's see. Don't care too much about Teferi here. Maybe I actually just wanted Teferi for no value. Just in case you have Casualties of War, so I can at least get something out of it. So let's do that. Draw a card.
Draw Fires was mentioned.
Yeah.
Nice little upside to that play as well.
All right, here. Now
Did you draw Fires?
I am quite worried of a certain magical card here, but I don't know if I can really play around it too much.
Does it rhyme with Schmitha?
No, actually it does not. All right, whatever. We came to play fires, so we're going to do it. Go. Just the nicest casualty of war here ever.
Okay. So, sack a Fable Passage.
Okay.
And do I need to get something that's not a forest? I don't think so. Yeah, I have 2 black mana, plenty of blue mana.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, God. I had it time. See, destroy target artifact. Don't see any of those. Creature. Okay, let's take that one. Enchantment.
Yeah.
And land. I guess we'll take the castle.
Yeah.
And let's get in there for 2.
You always have it, Ross Merriam. You always have it.
18 all.
18. Done?
Yep.
God, that card is so disgusting. All right, well, time to rebuild. I'll start with a Shimmer. The top 4. I think I just want to land here. Yeah, let's just get a...
Don't have to reveal.
Perfect. I mean, I'm not getting anything. And then Hallowed Fountain past you. Casualty of War is just disgusting against this deck. I think every time we played Fires of Invention on this show, we've always played it against 4 Casualty of War deck. What are we just silly?
Maybe. I'll go to 16. I'll play a 6/6 Crisis.
Okay.
And then I will go to 19 and draw 3 cards.
Okay.
And you're up.
All right. Draw. Our hand is quite awkward. We're going to go with Cavalier.
Okay. That's smaller than Crisis, so that's good.
Draw 3. Put some cards back here. We're going to put these 2 on top and pass to you.
Okay. I want to prevent any sort of crazy nonsense that can go on with...
Crazy nonsense?
Yeah, crazy nonsense that can go on with maybe fires into Cavalier of Flame.
Okay.
So I am going to... Cavalier of Flame is a 6/5, right?
It is, yep.
This is 7, 8.
Just a gigantic jellyfish?
No, I'm going to play a 7-point Voracious Hydra and fight the Cavalier of Gales. So you get to scry 2.
Shuffle in and scry. Had some bad cards in there, so that's not bad, but still in a lot of trouble here. Scry 2.
The Duke, of course, card selection here, but he doesn't have a lot of great draws.
Yeah, no, not really.
Disposition.
Down to 12.
You're
all right. Yeah, not too much I can do here. I guess we're going to sack that and play a Dream Trawler. I'll have to get an island here. I'm just dead.
I'm
just dead.
Discard to tap.
Yep. Yeah, Casualty of War 4 for wanting me on turn like 4. Who would have guessed? That's good.
It's like you just did nothing for the first 4 turns of the game.
Yeah, gotta love it. All right, we're going to head to the sideboards here, see what kind of tools we have in this matchup. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right, everybody, welcome to sideboarding here with Versus Live with Jeskai Fires up against Sultai Ramp. I am going to be taking out some Clarion effects because it does help against like Nissa Lands, Paradise Druid, but that's not a huge thing. You really need to control the Nissa from hitting. As well as Glass Casket. I don't need another type to add to my Casualties of War crimes here, so we're going to take those out. They also don't hit, like, absolutely anything. I mean, I can hit Crisis, which is decent, but...
That's about it.
That is about it, but honestly, that actually is kind of necessary sometimes, so maybe I should reconsider that a little bit. I'm taking out 1 Fires just to maybe rely a little bit more on just being able to cast my spells to not get blown out as much. And then bringing in Aether Gust is a phenomenal card. It hits Nissa, hits Casualties, hits just about everything. And then just some disputes to be able to just have even a 3-mana leak is good in most situations.
Yeah, and on my side, I've got 4 disputes to try to match up against Corey's counterspells. Can also counter like Cavalier Gales in a pinch.
Yep.
I just wanted to get the Tyrant Scorns out of my deck, which are pretty horrible in this matchup.
Yep.
And I decided the Fourth Dispute was better than one of my Voracious Hydras. Also, is not a bunch of targets. Needs to be cast for 1 million mana to be good.
Yep.
So just not a great card in the matchup. So trimming 1 makes sense.
I like it. Let's give it a shot. And Rob, you got any questions for us?
Yes. So particularly with your deck, Corey.
Yeah.
Asteus wanted to know, why are you choosing to play Deafening Clarion over Storm's Wrath? Is it just the 1 mana matters?
I think the 1 mana matters, and mostly because, on your Fire's turn, you want to play Sphinxes. You have a lot of other stuff to do. But I think the lifelink thing is honestly the biggest thing, where even if you just have 1 Sphinx and against mono red, you can deal damage and gain some life, as well as Deafening Clarion doesn't really kill any of our creatures, but it most of the time kills all of our opponent's creatures anyways. So I think building that in such a way is a little better. I guess we could cut Sphinxes of the False Truth or whatever and play the deal 4 to each thing, but as of right now, it's a one-sided Wrath most of the time, and the lifelink is a pretty big deal with it. But good question, because that new fort, what is it called again?
Storm's Wrath.
Storm's Wrath, yeah, that card's nice. That card is pretty sweet.
Seeing a lot of it in Wilderness Reclamation decks.
Yeah, yep.
To give them a nice sweeper, because they've historically struggled against aggressive strategies.
Yep, so. Yeah, that's a deck that's been popping up a lot, too, is the Wilderness. That was kind of the hot deck over the weekend that's been popping up.
Yeah, that's a sneaky good deck, I think.
It really is. It's something that's just kind of always powerful. It's very easily manipulated, especially with a lot of these 3-mana planeswalkers. Delvin's Veto is quite good against it, stuff like that. But let's take one more question if you got it, Rob.
All right, and also another one from Hasteus.
All right,
they wanted to know, do you think that Gruul Aggro still has a place in this standard? It seems like Klothys is the only real card it got from Theros. Also, just in general in week 1, going into this new format for you, what aggro deck would you be looking to play?
Mono red with Annex, similar to what you've been playing. There's another list that popped up. Actually, what I played for Dropping Bombs that'll be released tomorrow, played a sweet mono red list that I really like moving forward, and it's honestly one of the decks I'm considering for Richmond. I think it is a very good week 1 deck. Embercleave and Annex, we did some damage with that last week. So
I would echo that sentiment. I think Annex is an incredibly powerful card that we sort of slept on during previous season. And it really elevates the mono red deck well past what it was before. So I don't really feel the need to put another color into the deck to gain more power.
Yeah.
Because Annex has really ramped up the mono red strategy.
Yeah, I mean, you play green for like Innkeeper, to gain that value when you need to go long against these like flash decks and stuff like that. But we're not seeing a ton of that. So I think I'd rather just have a good mana base and a streamlined deck, still play the power of Embercleave because that's the best red card right now, in my opinion. You still get Torben, you still get all these fast, aggressive creatures.
Annex helps you a lot in those long games too.
It does, yeah.
Generating some extra satyrs, they get really good with Torbran.
Yeah,
they keep bodies around, so your Embercleave is always cheap to cast.
And I mean, even with them being legends, if you're just like, oh, I don't want to play another Annex because it's going to die to a legend rule, you get 4 satyrs, right? Isn't that how that works? So they both one with legend rule, but don't you get a trigger from each?
Yes,
I would think, and they're
unless it says other creature.
I don't think it does. I think Annex triggers, they would each trigger, and if you have 2 Annexes in play, no matter what, you're going to have power 4 or greater. So you just 3 mana, legend rule, get 4 satyrs, and it's pretty good with Embercleave, pretty good with Castle.
3 mana.
Yeah, no kidding. 3 mana, get 4 creatures that can't block in your Castle, Embereth, Embercleave deck.
That card is real good.
Yeah, agreed. Great questions, though, everybody. Keep those coming in. You know where to tag. And let's get back to this match here. I'm going to be going first. A little land heavy here, but we have the Sphinx to do a little manipulating. So I'm going to keep this. This is fine.
We've talked a lot about the Temple of Tilt on this show.
Yeah, are you Temple of Tilt over there?
This is the Temples of Tilt.
Oh.
But it is so good if we just hit an untapped land that I'm going to keep.
The Guildgate strategy? Okay, yes. Well, I will do some revealing. So I'm going to do some scrying.
That's so much scrying.
I know. So we have one really good card here that I want to keep. But otherwise, the 2 extra lands we're going to put on the bottom. And I'm going to start my turn with a castle. Pass to you.
Okay, I will play Temple of Malady.
Okay.
And don't think we need another temple. So
Sure.
let's bottom that one.
All right, we're going to untap here. Only play. We're going to go with a Shimmer. I'm not going to reveal this time. I always get tempted to reveal this. I don't know why.
There's very few of the unconditional ones like this.
Yeah.
They
All
usually
right.
don't see that much play because they're less efficient than the ones that are conditional, and you just like build your deck so that the condition isn't that big of a deal
Yeah.
and get better selection.
Almost revealed. Right after we talked about it. So I'll pick this card and pass to you.
Okay. Well, never didn't have it. Here.
Yep. All right. We'll untap. We'll go with a Temple. Scry. Don't want another Temple. And pass to you.
Attack you for 2.
The Beatdowns, 18.
Temple of Mystery.
Okay. So mysterious.
We'll continue to reiterate the line of don't want another temple.
Okay.
Also do not want you to have Deafening Clarion.
Okay.
Have
All right. We do not have Clarion.
It's good.
I'm going to sack this for an island. All right. So we got to be afraid of Nissa here. Next turn, nothing we can really do about that. But we can go Fires and play one of our spells. We have a decent amount of options. I want to try to keep you off casualty mana to be able to do something next turn. So I'm for sure going to do something to this Paradise Druid. It's just what? Let's start with just a Stomp. And I'll pass to you. Adventure. If I was on an adventure, I would be...
We don't have our adventure placard.
That's all right. Well.
I'll get one.
Okay, cool. That's on an adventure for now.
Okay. I will shock to 18.
Okay.
Land Nissa.
Nissa time. Okay.
It's plus on Overgrown Tomb, attack you for 3.
Okay.
And then cast another Paradise Druid.
All right.
So you're at 15.
15.
Pass turn. Now I really don't want you to have Clarion. I assume you would have Clarion last turn instead of stomping. So.
Yeah, that's true.
I would
All
also
right.
just like to let chat know that this time you two looked through your decks and told us what tokens you needed, and you missed that one.
That's true. Thanks for clarifying that.
We'll clarify that it was Corey that missed one in his deck.
Yeah. Let's all blame me. I like that. Okay, so I have the option. I'm going to play this Cavalier of Gales, but I have the option to actually scry with Castle first to try to get a Clarion, and I think it's kind of just lights out if I do that. So maybe I do want to just give myself extra looks. So I'm going to scry too. Guess I'm a little punished there. We'll go top bottom. Cavalier Gales. Draw 3. We'll put some cards back here. All right, we're going to put these 2 back. And now we got some more options that are interesting here. Yeah, this is tough.
If you're slow rolling that Clarion,
Yeah,
I'm
no.
I'm done.
Like what you just did to me last game.
I was fetching. I need to get my land.
Yeah, sure, likely. Yeah, we got a little punished for actually scrying here. Like really punished.
You have the Cavalier Flame, I assume?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really nice. So now, I mean, I have another couple choices here. None of them are insane, but
would have been able to kill my Nissa.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm very much regretting that play.
I wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah. I think we'll just go Aether Gust.
I'm going to leave that on top.
All right, and then pass to you. Yep, we really messed that one up. hindsight's 2020, and of course, if we didn't have Cavalier on top, but we were basically playing towards a Clarion out, which we only have 2 of, and Cavalier of Flame is a 4 of, so we were just giving ourselves less outs. So,
fair one.
Yep. So I think that's a good place to recognize a true play mistake there.
I do think I want this land just in case disaster strikes, but I do have a casualties here, which will blow up this, and the temple to cut you off of white mana.
Okay, I will shuffle in and scry 2, and once again got super punished for this as well. What can you do? All right, scry.
Yeah, you would have had double Cavalier, kill my Nissa, hold up Gust for Casualties War.
Well, no, I had Fires in play, but
yeah.
But still, of course, it would have been much better. I don't think either of these are playable. Done. All right, well, we will be dead, but I'll play this and pass to you.
Okay, so now we can just scry with that. Really don't need another temple. So we can't do both of these. If I just play the Nissa, how threatening is this Bone Crusher Giant? Not particularly, I believe is the answer. So
I would assume that's correct.
Yeah, let's just cast the Nissa.
Yep.
Land I want the least is probably this island. And I will attack with the 2 lands.
I'll block that.
Brings
Take
you
3 to 12. Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. All right, we got a Fires here. We'll go into Teferi and bounce that. Draw a card. Then pass to you.
That was a pretty reasonable turn. As far as like plays that might get Corey back into it, it's not a bad setup. But all I can do is animate this island again, and I guess I will deal 2 to the Teferi and 5 to you.
I'll take it.
Brings you to 7.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
All right. Untap. Draw. Let's start with a Shimmer.
Sure. Pretty happy to see that.
Yep. That's not great. No.
This turn had been like 5th land, double Cavalier.
If only.
We could have been talking.
If only.
I don't see one spell getting him out of this. I guess Clarion to stall for another turn would be good.
Yeah, I mean, I had double Cavalier, just didn't have a 5th land, so I can only play 1 creature, and I still take exactly 7.
Yep.
Yep, that's game. Yeah, I threw this game away for sure. By just that scry. That scry was a huge situation where I was looking for a 2-outer when I had a 4-outer I could naturally draw into that I was cutting myself out from. So, I mean, just the math wasn't there. And plain and simple, mistake.
Tunnel visioned a little bit.
Yep, a little bit. A little bit.
We got a little bit of time. If we continue this match, see if you can pick up a game.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's take a question, though, Rob, if you got one.
Yeah. So on Arena deck list, they've been talking about how they think the ramp decks should just be a top end of Thassa and Agent of Treachery and no Hydroid Krasis. What do you think about that?
Seems super wrong to me. I mean, Krasis is just... I can see a mix, and I can see where Agent is situationally better than Krasis, but I don't see how the thing about Hydroid Krasis is it scales incredibly well. It's an okay 4-drop, draw a card, 2/2 flyer, gain a life. It's a great 6-drop, and then anything out past that with Nissa, it's just outstanding. So I don't think there's a way that that's correct. I could see a split of some variety, but yeah.
I'm also skeptical for another aspect of what makes Hydroid Krasis so good is that it's all self-contained. It doesn't need any help. Like, you just get your mana, you cast your Krasis, and it does everything, even draws you towards more threats.
Yeah.
The issues with ramp decks historically is that they play, 35, 40 plus mana sources.
Yeah.
And you usually only have one threat that you have time to resolve, or you only draw one.
Yeah.
You need that one threat to really carry a lot of weight.
And what about a counterspell? I mean, we just absorb an agent, and you absorb a Crisis for 8, and it's like, that doesn't do anything, you know? You're still drawing 4 cards, but you absorb an agent, and that's their top end, and they were looking to blink it with Thassa, and then, you don't get to do that, you know?
Exactly. Now,
and in a world where Mystical Disputes are everywhere in every sideboard, do you really want to rely on a 7-mana sorcery that you have to resolve to gain any value? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Now, the combination of Thassa and Agent of Treachery is incredibly powerful.
It's insane. Yeah. And if you resolve that, I mean, it's busted, but...
So in Ramp Mirrors, I think that makes sense, because you can ignore the card advantage they gain and just go over the top with that kind of synergy.
Yeah, I don't still. Mystical Disputes, you know? I mean, Ramp Mirrors all play disputes, and you're just disputing people's agents and Thassas, and...
You've got a bunch of disputes on both sides. Usually Ramp Mirrors come down to whoever does the most powerful thing.
That's true.
Probably the most powerful thing to be doing.
That is
But it is not the most resilient thing. So in matchups where your opponents are disrupting you quite a bit, Hydroid Crisis just still has a lot of value.
Exactly. Like, I could see a split. You know, even a 3-1 Hydroid Crisis to Agent seems totally reasonable. And I agree you can't go over the top on that kind of expensive effects, because then, you know, your deck is just clunky. And you don't even out very well. But, yeah, Hydroid Crisis is an obscene Magic card when paired with Nissa. You know, otherwise I think it's completely reasonable, and Agent is just better without Nissa existing. But with Nissa existing and the fact that you just get to go so over the top and do something more powerful than any deck is doing in Standard, it seems great.
You've also got to be worried about aggressive decks. You know, Hydroid Crisis, when you go Growth Spiral into, 2/2 Crisis, trade with your creature, I've drawn an extra card to make my draw smooth, I've gained an extra life, which might be relevant. Yeah. You know, like, that helps quite a bit.
Yeah, not to say, Agent of Treachery stealing an Annex isn't good. You know, I mean, that's great too, but...
when you're casting your 7-drops against aggro decks, it usually means something went right along the way.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Like, you played a Crisis and jump line.
Exactly. So, we're going to have to learn exactly how to incorporate all of these things. Yeah. They're better in certain matchups, and you kind of want access to all of them, and it's like, well, between my main deck and my sideboard, how can I configure the best way? And that's a difficult question, and it takes, a fine mind to tune that. It might take a couple weeks even, but it's pretty clear to me that you don't want to go all in on one specific angle.
Agreed. All right, so great question, good talking point there. All right. Oh, this hand looks pretty solid. We're missing a key element, but definitely a keeper.
Yep, same here.
All right, so I'm going to start by revealing. We'll try this again. Wow, those are not good Magic cards. We are going to bottom all 3 of those. All right, and then we're going to scry a 4th time. And that was one of the cards I just put on bottom, so I'll put that on bottom again. The scry is really helping.
I kind of want to just blind leave on top.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you will.
Okay, I don't want that. We don't need more lands.
Okay. All right, so we are going to go with a Shimmer. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think we'll just get this and pass to you.
Okay. I will go to 18.
Okay.
And do not want to get this Growth Spiral disputed, so I'll just play it now.
Okay.
Let's put in Temple of Mystery.
Totally reasonable.
That scry brings another land I don't want, so we'll bottom that.
All right.
And pass the turn.
All right. Well, we are going to go with a Temple, scry.
I've done a lot of scrying in this game.
I have been scrying.
You scryed 5 times, I've scryed twice.
I think we can keep this. We have a... Oh, whoops, did I just say keep this and put it at the... I'm so used to scrying to the bottom that...
The muscle memory is a powerful force.
Okay, your turn.
Okay, well, I have drawn a lot of lands, so I guess I'll just play another Temple.
Okay.
And that's a good card, so we'll leave that one on top and pass the turn.
All right. All right. Don't have anything we specifically want to do on this turn, so we're just going to go land go. Playing a weird, interesting game compared to what we've played so far.
Yep. Paradise Druid.
Paradise Druid resolves.
You're up.
All right. Okay. So now we're going to take 2. Drew an interesting one here.
18 all.
and go with a Fires of Invention.
Sack this, get a forest, dispute it.
All right, I'll dispute back.
Figured that was happening. Both of our disputes were pretty face up on the table.
Yeah, it seemed pretty obvious there. And yeah, unfortunately, that is my 2 spells for fires. Not the best Fires of Invention turn, but... Yep. And then I'll pass to you.
Okay. So, now I have a bit of a free turn. And let's scry.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that one on top. I'm just going to deal with this stuff. So,
makes sense.
Get my 2 for 1. I guess I'll take the Sacred Foundry with it.
All right, they are destroyed.
Pass the turn.
1 tap. We're going to take 2 here.
16.
Go to 16 and play a Cavalier of Gales.
Yep.
Draw 3. Don't want a ton of these cards. Okay, we're gonna... We are going to put these on top and pass to you.
Pretty clear turn from us here. I'm going to go to 16,
okay.
And I'm going to go back up to 19 for a 6/6 Crisis.
Okay.
Left the land on top so I could get this one bigger.
All right, 19 to 16.
Draw 3 and pass the turn.
Okay. On top.
If we're playing this Slam Haymakers game, I like my chances.
Yeah, usually does favor your deck. All right, we're going to go with Cavalier of Flame. Got a bunch of cards that are pretty bad here. I think I need to be drawing something that goes over the top. And honestly, all of these are pretty low impact cards. So we're going to discard 4 here. Draw 4 new ones. Play a land tapped and pass to you. Not a horrible draw set.
Okay. Interesting turn for me here. I think what I want to do is shock to 17.
Okay.
Play a 6/6 Voracious Hydra.
Okay.
Fight this.
All right. I'll let this die and shuffle in.
Just to leave me some blockers back so I can freely attack with the Crisis. So you'll get to scry.
Scry 2. Not bad. Not great. Don't think we want these.
And then you'll get a 10 from the attack.
Yep.
10 to 17, pass the turn.
All right. Let's see. All right, now we just have to be worried about dying on the crack back here. So... I guess we don't have much of a choice here but to play a little defensive. We'll go with the Fires and go with Cavalier of Gales.
Dispute the Cavalier.
Dispute that. Okay, so we have to chump block Voracious Hydra. All right, here you go.
Sadly, casualties.
All right,
your stuff.
That sounds great. So we picked this matchup multiple times, and it's the pure definition of insanity, expecting this to be a good match to play with 4 casualties against the Jeskai deck. So we're going to end it there. We will head to round 2, where we are going to be jumping into Pioneer. And we got some spicy ones there, so don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick... We need 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Okay, we'll take a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back for some Pioneer action.